Hello, friends, and good evening. It's Lisa Maynard here with another edition of Kit Crush Wednesday. I have a different setup now. I'm trying to use my Mac computer as the front facing, so we're going to see how this works. You get a little bit more behind me, and you still have this in front of me. We're going to work on that, but I'm just trying different setups and everything. So we are going to look at the Calm and Bright kit tonight. It is a Christmas kit, and so I'm very excited to hop right into this. It was a little tricky, but I've got some tips for you. So with that, let's go ahead, and I'm going to, if I can see what I'm doing, switch the camera around. There we go. And there is our Calm and Bright kit right here. These are the cards that it makes. I'm going to go ahead and grab some cheaters because I cannot see without them. I don't know how many of you out there need your cheaters when you're crafting, but I definitely need them. So, all right, here we go. So this is the Calm and Bright kit. And these cards are absolutely just so dang cute. This one actually flips up like this. Very little tiny details on them, which are super adorable. They're a little more intricate to make. I don't know what I've got on there. We've got something on there. Let's go ahead and get that off. There's dirt or something. Who knows what that is? These little erasers come in super handy for stuff like this, friends. These little gummy erasers, you can get them on Amazon. Super helpful. So anyway, we've got, these are the 3 cards that we're going to be making tonight. Like I said, they're a little bit intricate, and so there's a little bit of prep work with them. But let's go ahead and set these aside. And I'm going to go ahead and pull out the kit, and there's just plain but there's this is nice texture again. We're going to go ahead and pull in the kit really quick, show you what's in there, what it comes, and then we're going to get to work. So we have our ink spot. It is Lost Lagoon. Now, in your instructions, because I messed up and did this, it appears that it would be gray granite, but it's not. It's Lost Lagoon. So don't pay attention to the instructions. We've got your Stampin' Block, as you always do, your stamp set, and I've got some of those on blocks right now. This is the little insert that shows what all your stamps are, and it's a great little tool to know, do I have all my stamps? Am I missing some stamps? So I keep that handy. And then we've got some mini glue dots and some mini Stampin' Dimensionals and some little pink and white little embellishments. We have some baker's twine, which you'll need. Then we have our instructions, super important for this kit. And then we have the die cutouts. There's some that are very intricate, like these little leaves, and I'll show you, like there's some little leaves. Then we've got our sentiment pieces. And then under this, we've got some very shiny, it's almost like a white glimmer paper. So that's under there, and our layering pieces and our card bases. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick this aside for right now because we have everything that we need out, and I need to keep those out, and that is all, and my instructions. Now, like I said, when I was looking at the instructions on this, it looks as though this is gray, and it shows gray on your instructions, but it's not gray. It's Lost Lagoon. So I got confused, and this is what I did. I thought they gave me the wrong ink spot. So I messed this up here, so we're going to ignore that. But I started stamping it in the gray granite. I think it's gray granite. And then I was like, wait a minute. I think it's supposed to be Lost Lagoon. So this is one that has a both, but I kind of messed that up. So I could probably put an embellishment up there or something and cover that up. So this is what not to do. Use the Lost Lagoon. So with that, let's start and bring in our elements and our cards. Now, as always, I've pretty much prepped these for you, or for me to show you, so we don't waste a lot of time. And we're only going to stamp on this first card tonight because there are a lot of parts and pieces to this. So it does take time to do it. Now, what we need to do first is you need to have, and I don't know if this is the correct length or not, and I'm wondering, and it's not. So do what I say, don't do what I do. This is supposed to be 31 inches long. I have only cut it 20 inches long. So it should wrap around this piece 3 times. I'm only going to be able to wrap it around and tie it twice. So again, do what I say, not what I do. We're just going to pretend that this is the right length, and it's not. And I've done this on the other pieces that we're going to make tonight because it takes a little time. Now, excuse me for a minute. I'm going to grab a handy dandy little tool here. These are called reverse tweezers. These little things right here. You can get them on Amazon. You can probably find them in your craft store. These come in super handy when you're trying to tie a knot and you can't hold everything. I'm going to slip that under here and I'm going to grab it like that. It's going to hold that tight for me while I can tie my knot then. So if you don't have a pair of what we call reversible tweezers, get yourself a pair. Look at that. And then just slip it off. And we have our little twine tied around here. Now I'm going to separate these out a little bit so they go like that. And I believe, yeah, we want this. I'm going to look at mine. We want this down a little bit. So sometimes if you just do that, you can do that. Okay. Let's go ahead now and we're going to stamp our little night sky on here. And I did this first so that you could stamp it where you would want. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Lost Lagoon full size. And we're going to go ahead and grab our little stamp here. It's got stars on it, little stars, little teeny tiny stars. So when you ink this up, you just want to be very, very careful and you want to go into it very lightly. You do not want a lot of ink on that stamp at all. And then we're going to do one right here. And just below those, just above and below those lines. That's all we're going to do. That's it with that stamp. Now, since we're stamping, we're going to go ahead and come in and we're going to stamp our sentiments. On these little cutout pieces, there is a front and a back. And sometimes you can see because the back appears a little brownish to it. If you get it on the, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Now we're going to ink up our Merry Christmas and we're going to stamp this Merry Christmas. Follow your directions. We're going to stamp it up towards the top of this sentiment piece because our next piece is going to layer on that. So let's just let it sink in a little bit. And there's where our Merry Christmas. So that's all we're going to do with that. Then we're going to bring in this very pretty, like it's almost like a soft sea foam color. I don't really know what that is. Maybe a very light Lost Lagoon or a I'm not really sure what other color that would be, but okay. So we're going to finish off with this other sentiment from our home to yours. And this one, we want to make sure we get it over to the right-hand side of this label or sentiment piece, because this other part, we're going to attach some things to. So there we have all of our stamping done. So that's all we're going to do with that. Let's go ahead and close our ink up, get that out of the way, get my stamps out of the way so I don't put my hands in there. And then we're going to get to work putting this together. And I'm actually going to follow my directions a little bit because there's a lot of parts and pieces to these. So I want to make sure that we get these done correctly. So we've stamped this, we've stamped these. We're going to go ahead and adhere. Now I have to find it. Oh my gosh. We're going to go ahead and put this together. So we're going to put some little glue dots on the back of this. So let's grab those. Grab my Take Your Cook tool, and we're going to put these on. Now, usually I don't have to follow the instructions when I do these for you, but tonight, yeah, I do. I need to pay attention to what's going on. So let's go ahead and put these on. The next ones, like I said, we won't stamp. So pay attention to where I stamped on these sentiment pieces, because it does make a difference. So I'm going to put this on here, but I'm going to slide it over so that it offsets this a little bit, just like that. And yeah, that's good. Just like that. Maybe bring this side up a tiny bit. There we go. Merry Christmas. Now, on the back of this, we're going to be sticking some things under here. So I'm going to put my Stampin' Dimensionals at the top, not necessarily at the bottom. It shows they're at the bottom on the piece, but I'm not going to do that. And these are the minis. So we're going to put them at the top here and here. And I'm going to put another one on here, but I'm going to put it closer. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm going to put it closer to this one instead of clear down at the bottom. I'm going to put it closer to that one because we're going to tuck some things in there. So go ahead and do that. And then we're going to go ahead and adhere this to, and these little mini Stampin' Dimensionals, they get the things all over the place. Then we're going to go ahead and adhere this to our card. And we're going to bring it about like so. It's going to go over those little twine things a little bit. There we go. Just like that. Perfect. Now we're going to go ahead and take one of our holly leaves and we're going to stick it under this right here. So the glue dot is going to adhere this right there, like so, just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and adhere this whole thing to the back, to the card base. So go ahead, and I put a lot on here. Now, if you had regular dimensionals, go ahead and use those, because this takes a while to do. We want it pretty solid because it's a big card and it's a big layer. So we're going to go ahead and with these mini glue dots, sometimes I have to like make sure they're pressed down before I can pop the backs off of them, because they don't want to pop. They don't want to pop off sometimes. So once we get this part done, friends, it's going to go a lot faster. So popping these off. There we go. Look all shiny. And we're going to go ahead and stick this on our layer. So we're going to do it centered, up, down, right, left. Go ahead and stick that on just like so. Now, I've already, again, prepped some more of these pieces. So we have two, and I don't think I meant to do that, but they are sticking together. Yeah, maybe I did. There are two of these very nice, shiny, nope, I didn't, because that's the wrong side. So let's just very carefully, we've got some, there we go. So these little intricate, shiny pieces are going to go all the way underneath this sentiment. So we're going to go ahead and take off these little glue dots on the back. Make sure I'm in the camera. The unfortunate thing is I cannot make my camera zoom in. So, okay. So I put one on the back of this. I'm going to attach these together like so. And then I'm going to slip it underneath here like that. Give it a nice little press, but we don't want that to stick down. Just like that. Now, we're going to go ahead and attach our other little holly leaf, but it's got a Stampin' Dimensional on it. So we're going to attach this and push that little guy right under there. And we're going to put him right there. And then on, we're going to actually add these right now. We're going to add some little tiny embellishments. And I can't get this pack open. Oh my goodness. So this is going to make the berries for our holly. Now, I got that up a little bit too far on that. I'm going to see if I can bring that down just a tad. And there, that's a little bit better. There, we'll cover these up. So let's grab 3 of our pink berries, and we're going to attach them right here in a little triangle. And that makes our little berries for our holly leaves, like so. Perfect, just like that. Now, you do stamp the little star on this, and you tie a bow. And I wasn't going to waste your time tying a bow. These are a little hard to do, so I'm not going to waste your time. But take your time tying the bow. You only need about 5 or 6 inches of twine to do that. So go ahead and take your time, and that's going to go right there. And then we have this cute little house that's going to go up there. And I want to show you a little trick that I did with this. So it says just to use 1 mini little glue dot on that. Well, here's what I do, friends. I want to make this a little stronger. So I want another piece of dimensional there. So I use all parts of my dimensionals, every single last piece of them. So I am cutting this, and just a little one just off the side of that, and I'm going to put it right here like that, and that gives it just a little bit more stability. So I don't throw any part of the dimensionals away. I use every last one of them. So just a little tip for you that I like to do. And let's make sure that's over there just a little bit like that. And give that a nice press. And there's our card. Merry Christmas from our house to yours. Super, super cute. It does take a little bit of time. There's a lot of little teeny tiny things to do, but it's really super cute. And I love the colors. They're so soft and dainty, and they're just very nice. So let's go ahead and bring in our next card. Now, again, I've stamped all the elements on this, so this isn't going to take as long. But again, do what I say, not what I do. This should be 30 inches of twine, not 20 inches of twine. This is your main card piece, and you're going to wrap it around 3 times and tie it on the inside. I did not do that. I messed up. So again, do what I say, not what I do. Cut the twine. And I didn't have enough because I want to make the other cards in here. So I didn't have any more white of the baker's twine, or I would have redone it, but that's okay. So now we have some parts and pieces that we've stamped, and I'll go ahead and show you the parts and pieces that we stamped, that I stamped, that you will stamp before you assemble this. And there's lots of little tiny mini glue dots all over this stuff. So that's why they're sticking together. So you're going to stamp your sentiment on this piece, Sending Joy. You're going to stamp the little snowflakes in the middle of the ornaments, and you're going to stamp a bigger circle with a star on this little round ornament, and then tie a little tiny knot in it. So those are the pieces that you are going to stamp. Now, let's go ahead and put these parts together. As you can see, I've already put some little mini glue dots on here. That's because we're going to attach this to this sentiment piece. And then we're going to add some more mini glue dots on that, or some more Stampin' Dimensionals on that. So I'm going to go ahead and take the backs of these off. I just wanted to show you how that's done. I could have done it ahead of time, but I just want, now they're on the front. They're on the front because you're going to attach it on the back so that they show. So like that. Oh God, like that. Now let's go ahead and put a couple more on here, and they place them. We're going to place them over those little glue dots so that they hold really, really well. And then we're going to go ahead and adhere this sentiment piece with our little ornaments to our layering piece like this. Oh, and you're going to stamp those little little stars and stuff on this too. Now we're adhering that, and now we're going to adhere this entire piece to our main card base. I'm going to take all these off. So there's lots of glue dots, lots of dimensionals on this. And then this is going to go right about like so. Yep, just like that. Perfect. Now here's more of our pieces, parts and pieces, parts and pieces. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to adhere these little pine boughs to the part that says sending joy, and they're stuck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to attach them together first, and then I'm going to adhere it to the card base, kind of like I did with the other one. And these, oh, that was the wrong one. So back up, back the truck up. I thought they went this way. They go this way. So we're going to grab that. These go this way. So I'm going to attach this to this like so. And then I'm going to attach it right here with that little mini glue dot like that. Okay, that's cute. And now I'm going to go ahead and we're going to attach these directly to this also. And these are going to go like that. So I'm going to take the backings off of these, and it's layering of the pieces, which really add to the card. And I think it makes it super cute. And we're going to add one right there. And then the other one, we're going to add right here. So those are going to kind of cross over like that. Super cute like that. Now we're going to attach this light pink star to the dark pink star with a little mini glue dot like so. And then on the back of this, we're going to use some more mini glue dots. And it only had 3 on here. And I'm actually, this is what I'm going to do, friends. I think this makes more sense to me. I'm going to put them here because part of this little heart or star, poinsettia, it's a poinsettia, is going to go above this layer. So I want, instead of fiddling around with it, I'm just going to put my glue dots on my card, and then I'm going to place my poinsettia on it so that I get it where I want. I know that these glue dots are going to be where they want. Now you can do it however you want, but just makes sense to me after I did it the last time, and it kind of just turned on me. So let's put this right here like this, and I'm going to actually move it up a little bit, get that turned. We're going to move it up, well, maybe, and we want it like that, just like that. So again, lots of layering pieces to that, but super, super cute. And then we are going to go ahead and attach this little ornament right here. Actually, I'm going to stick it over on this side because there's not a lot of room on that side. because of what I did. So I'm just changing it up, and I'm going to put it over here this time. Then we're going to add just a few of these. We're going to add 3 to the middle of our poinsettia to make our middle of it. We're going to do just like that. And there we go is our second card, Sending Joy. Isn't that pretty? It's so very pretty and delicate. I just love how these are turning out. I just think they're super, super cute. And again, do what I say, don't do what I do. So that is our second card. It does take a while to do these. And so this is a kind of a long Kit Crush Wednesday because it does take a while to do these. So bear with us. Okay, here's our last card. This one does not have any twine on it except for one of the little ornaments. So this will go a little bit faster. So this is a landscape version. Now, let me get all the parts and pieces off, but there's still lots of things that go on this. So I went ahead and stamped the sky on my layering piece. I went ahead and stamped my sentiment, and I stamped it all the way over to the left on purpose because something's going to go there. And then there is a little snowflake stamped on this round ornament, and again, a little bow tie. So those are the things that you would stamp for this third card. And we're going to go ahead and pull these off just like so. And then we're going to layer this in the middle about like that. Now, on this one, we're going to layer our, and I'm going to do it this way because I want to make sure that I get my pieces where I want them to go before I put them down. So what goes on first are these white, shiny trees, and they go near the back. So I'm going to go ahead, and what I like to do sometimes is I like to place my elements where they're going to go so that I know where they roughly kind of are, so I can make sure I got everything where I want it. So I'm going to put that one there, and these go on with little glue dots, and this one goes here. Like that. And then we have our tall tree goes here. And our other tree goes over here. So I'm going to kind of leave those where they are at. And I'm going to go ahead and take this piece off and take the backings off because you want them layered. And I just like doing it that way. Sometimes it just makes sense to me. They don't necessarily have to be absolutely in the, right there, but it does help to do that. So I'll put that one down and move this guy over. I'll put this guy down. So again, it takes a little time to make these, but they turn out so cute. So cute and super, super sweet. Love the colors on them. So that one goes there because this is going to be in the middle. So that's what we're aiming for right there. That's what we're aiming for. And then this one goes out here like that. And then this one goes over here. Now we kind of know where our pinks are going to go and all those other layered pieces are going to go. So we've got that like there, like so. And then this one, the lighter one, is going to go over here. And he's going to go right there with those. And then this one with the little mini dimensional is going to go over here like that. And then this guy is going to basically go kind of in the middle. Let's move this guy over a little bit. He's that little pink tree. He's too close. Let's move him over a little bit like that. And that little dimensional stuck there. So we're just going to put another one on. we're going to put this right here. And friends, I'm not exactly sure what happened, but there we go. Okay. Hold on just a second. Hello. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead. If you can't hear me, I apologize. You're just going to have to watch it. I don't know what else to do right at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to move to this solo layout. If you cannot hear me, I don't know what else to do. I'm finishing. Just watch. Just watch. I'm at a loss. So again, I apologize. We're going to go ahead and we're going to add this to here, like so. Just like this, right like that. And then we're going to go ahead and add the sentiment piece. It's got 2 and then 1 in the middle. And I'm going to go ahead and pop these off. And I again, if you can hear me, great. If you can't, I'm so sorry. I don't know what is going on. That goes like that. We're going to add our deer to this. And their little deer goes here. And I apologize for all the screeching and all the other things that was going on with that. I am so sorry. Now these little white ones are going to go, and they're going to go like this. And so we're going to take those off. And they're going to go under here like that. And the other one is going to go over here. Like so. So I'm wondering if I was even meant to do this kit, because from the get-go, I have had problems with this, friends. I'm not really sure. Maybe I wasn't supposed to do this kit. And then our little ornament can go right there, just like that. And there we have, and see, we're turned sideways. I don't even know what's going on. I'm turned sideways. This is the card. You saw the other cards. Here they are. They're wonderful. I'm going to go to my front-facing view. We're going to do that right now, and we're going to get off of here. Okay. I apologize. Thank you for tuning in. This has been a Crazy Kit Crush Wednesday. I hope you can hear me. If you can't, that's okay. We're just going to go with it, and maybe you can read my lips, and maybe it'll auto-generate what I'm saying. So who knows? Thank you for tuning in. I'll put the link in the comments, and we'll see you next week. Bye, friends.